Today, we take you to Biot, another old perch village of the French Riviera. On the program, glass art, visit of the village, walk on the beach, dinner and cocktails. Biot is especially famous in the region for its bubble-blown glass. We start our day by visiting the glass factory. It was founded in 1956 by Éloi and Lucette Monod, engineer and ceramist from the Sèvres School. Bubbles have been well known to glassmakers for centuries. It's even their nightmare, because it's the result of an imperfect fusion. They took over the Spanish and Italian techniques of blown glass and invented bubble glass. It's created by trapping baking soda between two layers of molten glass at 1100 degrees. The carbon dioxide released forms bubbles. The grains are trapped between two layers of hot glass and, as they decompose, they give small regular bubbles. We have to say that watching the precise gestures around the molten glass is quite fascinating. We can admire all the stages of the manufacturing of a piece, from the picking of the molten glass to the finishing by the master glassmaker. Each piece produced is unique. Several galleries surround the workshop and exhibit glass-based creations. Some of them are astonishing. For example, that one of the artists Jean-Claude Novaro, who gave birth to a luminescent glass which glows in the dark. The visit will end with the store. After this visit of the glass factory, we go to the village. Biot is less known than Saint-Paul-de-Vence, but it's also full of charm and it's good to stroll. Rue Saint-Sébastien is the main street of the pretty little provincial village of Biot, with its stores, art galleries, cafés and restaurants. It's in the middle of this street that the Charles de Gaulle Square is located. We stop in the square to have a drink and relax before starting our visit. The atmosphere is really peaceful. There is also the Fernand Léger National Museum, which is dedicated to ceramics. As in many villages in the region, the facades are adorned with natural ochre. In Biot, the pigments used are extracted from its own underground. It should be noted that the city was the seat of a commandery of the Templars in 1209, then of the Knights of Malta in 1312. After this break, we leave to visit the old village. It's mainly composed of small streets offering a shade, a real pleasure when the summer heat wave is raging. In 1209, the Count of Provence, who owned the right to the territory of Biot, donated it for the salvation of his soul and that of his parents to the Knight Templars. At that time, the village consisted of the Place aux Arcades, the church and a few houses. The Templars bought or obtained by donation the lands around the village, thus unifying the territory of Biot. When the Order of the Temple was suppressed in 1307, the territory of Biot was entrusted jointly to the Hospitallers of St. John of Jerusalem, who became the Knights of Malta in 1530, and to the Bishop of Grasse. This situation lasted until the Revolution. The villagers lived in peace and life was organized until, during the succession of Queen Jeanne de Provence, groups of looters and the Black Plague decimated the village. Left abandoned, Biot and its church were devastated in 1387 and the village became a den of brigands. The situation ended in 1470 when King René encouraged about 50 families from the Val d'Onnai, now in Italy between Genoa and Ventimiglia, to come and settle there under favorable conditions. Life resumed and Biot prospered. In 1707 and 1746, two invasions partially destroyed the village and the crops were devastated. From the 16th century on, the jar industry developed and Biot became an important center of pottery production. The Place des Arcades is one of the most famous and pleasant of Biot. This place was the seat of the Templars. Then, the new population that came from Liguria surely gave it part of the look that we know today. The Church of Sainte Marie Madeleine is nestled at the end of the Arcade Square in the heart of the historic village. It has two particularities that make it unique: the presence of two doors and the fact that steps go down to the nave instead of up. It was rebuilt in the 15th century at the same time as the village, on the ruins of an old Romanesque church of the 12th century, itself probably built on a Roman sanctuary. It was classified as a historical monument in 1984. Biot is a small town, but we really enjoyed strolling around. It's an ideal walk to make in couple, family or friends. After this day in Biot, we return to Juan-les-Pins. A very different atmosphere and much more animated than in Biot, no doubt about it. We walk on the promenade in edge of the sea. And for our happiness, we cross a troupe of musicians who play jazz on the pier. After this musical interlude, we continue our way in search of a restaurant in edge of sea. And we find exactly what we were looking for: dinner with our feet in the sand by the sea. The menu will be capirina, fish and mussels. After our meal, we walk a moment on the sandy beach, feet in the water, our moment of happiness. We stop in a beach bar where we have found a free couch to drink a beer with our feet in the sand. If there is a bar we can't miss in Juan-les-Pins, it's the Pam Pam. We will finish our evening there, where Brazilian dancers ensure the show, while we taste our cocktails.